Today, former top House Republican Liz Cheney and Democratic candidate for president Kamala Harris hitting the campaign trail together. The two will be in the critical swing state of Wisconsin, appearing at a schoolhouse known as the birthplace of the Republican Party. The unlikely duo teaming up in a push to win over Republicans and independents in battleground states.
So also this morning, Melania Trump breaks with her husband on one of the most critical issues of this campaign, abortion, really one of the most critical issues in the country. So The Guardian, this happened after The Guardian first reported that Melania Trump was expressing support for abortion rights. And just moments ago, she put out a new video. Let's watch.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth, individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
All right, to be clear, the black and white choice and the music was part of the video that Melania Trump just released there. With us now, CNN senior political commentator Van Jones, former Trump administration officials Matt Mowers. Van, so that's the first time I saw that video, and it just came out a short time ago there. And it really does beg a lot of questions. I mean, number one, is it A, to sell books? Is it B, some grand break in your face to her husband on a key campaign issue? Is it nine-dimensional chess where she's trying to present this case to voters that, hey, there can be disagreement on this issue?
I have no idea. First of all, why is she, maybe she's trying to come out of the shadows? I mean, you have the music in the background. Her face is like half shaded. It's getting us talking about the book. It's definitely good for book sales. This is either one or two things. This is a big break with her husband and saying, I just don't agree, and I have my own book and my own stand, and I don't care. Or it is 27-dimensional chess. And people say, well, maybe she will soften Trump on abortion, so maybe some suburban housewives and women and voters will change their position. But this is bizarre. I don't think you've ever seen in the history of American politics a former first lady or the spouse of a candidate come out with a book and a video saying, I don't agree with my husband's party on a key issue. It's never happened before, ever.
The language she used there was the language that Kamala Harris could have used on the stumper Tim Walz the other night in the debate.
Beyonce music could have been in the background talking about freedom. Hey, listen, you got Cheney coming out today. Maybe Melania comes out tomorrow with Kamala Harris. It could happen.
Okay. Now
it's
you're just talking crazy.
It's 2024. Anything is possible.
Matt Mowers is losing it. I can hear him spiraling right now listening to all this. Matt, I do want to ask you about Liz Cheney.
I just want to know what Van had with his cereal this morning. That's all. I want to know whether it was milk or something else and those Cheerios.
It was the same thing that Melania had this morning.
Vodka Cheerios? It's a new thing. Try it out. Matt, I am curious about what you think about Liz Cheney joining Kamala Harris on the stump. Have we ever seen anything like this before? Because before this, obviously the DNC, you had a couple of Republicans, well-known, coming out and speaking to back her. But now you're seeing Liz Cheney, one of the most well-known conservatives, come and stand with her and campaign with her in a swing state.
Yeah, we've seen it before. We saw it about a month ago when we had a Kennedy campaigning with Donald Trump. I think this is just showing another way how the two parties are shifting right now. I mean, if you go back, even just a decade ago, the Republican Party was largely, the college degree, largely white, largely upper class party, and the Democrats were doing quite well with blue collar voters across the spectrum, whether they're white, black, Latino, et cetera. That's changing, right? We are seeing that change before our very eyes, most dramatically right now. And it's the reason you're seeing a Kennedy campaign with Trump and a Cheney campaign with Kamala Harris. And so, I think ultimately, though, I think the bigger test here is why are they in Wisconsin? I mean, if you go back to a month and a half ago, every Democrat was saying Wisconsin was almost off the board. Public polling was showing high single-digit leads for Kamala Harris. And the fact is that both Wisconsin and Michigan have now closed in tight. They're looking at about a half-point margin in the polling average for Kamala Harris. Not to mention the fact that Wisconsin, more than any other state in 2016 and 2020, had a big polling miss. It was almost 6 points in 16, I believe 7 to 8 points in 2020. And so I think it's really telling that of all places, that's where they decide to go. But all I'll say is, I wonder if Vance can be passing around all the fun stuff he's been having this morning over to the campaign bus over there in Wisconsin.
We'll see.
Wow.
Well, look, first of all, you just answered why they're in Wisconsin, and Hillary Clinton and Robbie Mook can tell you why they're in Wisconsin right now. Hillary Clinton didn't go there in 2016. Look what happened. I mean, you go to places to help shore them up. Matt, I want your take on the Melania Trump thing. I can't get the black and white and the music out of my head there. What impact do you think that has? It's jarring.
Yeah, so I think there's two things. There's why it was done, and then there is what impact it has. And they're two separate things. I mean, sometimes, folks think that everything on a campaign is very calculated and very precise. As having worked on presidential campaigns, as having run for office myself, sometimes, it's in this case, Melania Trump probably just wanted to make her position known. And so that is where I think the reason she did it. If you look at the impact it has, I mean, I think it actually, in some ways, helps Donald Trump. It makes him more relatable. I mean, I can tell you, I don't agree with my wife on every issue. She agrees with me on even fewer issues. And so I think, this is actually pretty common. In fact, there's been some studies coming out lately about the difference of like men and women going to vote this year, or spouses, I should say, going to vote this year, compared to 2020. 2020, they're all sitting at the kitchen table, looking over each other's shoulders, filling out the ballots. This year, they're going into the polling place on their own, and what impact that may have. So I think this actually helps broaden Donald Trump's appeal potentially.
Could be. I mean, I do think that I think he's trying to say what's happening with the parties is a kind of a education versus non-education income shuffle. There's some of that. But I think what I'm seeing is there's a different dimension of politics now. It's not just left versus right. It's pro-democracy, pro-constitution versus a more authoritarian direction. And I think what unites an AOC, the Cheneys, Taylor Swift, the Kamala Harris coalition is so big and so broad. It's because there's deeper values at play here. There's a deeper sense that Donald Trump doesn't seem to care about facts, doesn't seem to care about the Constitution, and that's scaring a lot of people. So you've got a coalition of hope around the future of democracy that could include the Cheneys. It's not just a demographic shuffle. There's a psychographic shuffle here about, do you care about democracy or not?
And where's Melania fall into it?
Hey, listen, she's coming out of the shadows. She's coming out of the shadows. She's coming into the light. She'll be with, this time next week, she will be on that same stage with Kamala Harris, singing freedom.
Okay.
That's where we're headed. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. That's where we're headed.
We're going to write that down, Van. You might regret it. Just saying.
Coming out the shadows.
Here it is, that new video. All right. We're having a lot of fun with politics. Yes, we are. Van Jones, Matt Mowers, thank you both so much. Appreciate you.